You're not dumb. It's actually...
If someone asked me what Trench Crusade was, I would probably show them this picture.
The secret to black is...
This dude is like uncomfortably up my alley.
Like, I can't help it, guys.
It's all right, that's all right. We're not trying to just sell you things, I promise.
We aren't.
These are things we actually like.
Welcome back to In the Trenches, our Trench Crusade podcast, hosted by Adrian and, of course, Trench Brian.
Hey guys.
How you doing, Brian?
Doing good. How are you doing, Adrian?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited for today's episode.
Yes.
This has been one that we wanted to do for a while, and we kind of do a mini version every time.
Yeah.
Normally, we do a little highlight of cool things going on in the community, but today, that's the whole episode.
Yes. So this is my favorite episode
There's
already.
just so much. You're always like, Adrian, what like new models do you have this week that I can paint or get or look at? And oh boy, do we have a bunch for you today.
We just get to look at models all day today. I'm
Yay.
very happy about that. And even cooler is like, it's you guys. It's everything you did. So if you're not aware, we launched our Discord recently.
We did.
And you guys have already been blasting us
been a
with
flood.
some really cool pictures of not just your boards, but also your miniatures as well. So I think we're just going to take some time to kind of to highlight some of the cool things we've already been seeing.
There's just so many great things going on in the community. So if you aren't there already, you should, of course, join the Discord. Link in the description down below. It's going to be really a nexus of places to hang out, share your projects that you're working on, talk about lists, talk about lore. We'll post links and things on there, and we're going to have some cool community challenges coming up very soon. So you're going to want to be in the Discord for the launch of those momentarily.
Exciting, yeah. So this is definitely going to be kind of like visual cues, but I know some people just listen to these as they work. So we'll try to describe kind of in detail as we're going. I'm going to paint you a picture in the theater of the mind.
Oh, yeah, this is definitely probably the most visual of the podcast episodes, but it's also a topic that we want to be able to ramble on and talk about at length.
I know.
So it had to be podcast. We're like, we want to get into the weeds here.
Yes.
So very excited for it. Of course, let us know in the comments what your favorite things that we showed here. Let's dive on in. Who's going to go first? We both have some cool things to talk about.
I don't know, man. I love...
Oh, man. Okay.
Try not to pick favorites. Some of these I really love. Like, these are all very good.
They're great. They're great.
Yeah.
I'll start off with one, which is very much near and dear to your heart.
Yes.
So this is a project from a user that goes by just Chaz.
Yes.
Got them on the screen there. Very cool court warband.
Yeah.
With like very, very kind of similar inspirations to even like yours. We have like we have the Desecrated Saint, which is this like eldritch horror of like a geometric shape.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful.
It's so good. Like I was talking to this guy because I tried to reach out to get some feedback from these guys and kind of the inspiration. And he made this from like, it sounds like a Christmas ornament.
He
just picked a shape and then like he did like the blender, just like it looks like almost like a low poly like orb for that thing in the middle. And then he just started like trenching it up and just like, oh, it's so good. I always love the models where you look at it and you're like, what am I looking at? But this is like also like horrific, and it's just like, it has this weird like, seems like it orbits on itself and just is like constantly grinding. Like I can see this thing moving in my head, and it's so
got a lot of great motion in it, and it's all just implied. Oh my gosh, the Christmas ornament! I don't even like. Yeah, that's so cool. Like, there's a lot of amazing models out there right now, and so it's cool when someone just finds something else and transforms it. And you can see that process,
it's
right?
Like not even like he just like found like a shape and just like, I'm gonna make this into like some weird like eldritch horror. Like this dude is like uncomfortably up my alley, but we are kindred spirits.
It's really amazing. And you know, we're gonna see a few of these techniques talked about today. So we have like found objects that are kind of converted into match the warband's aesthetic or whatever. We also have this idea of like digital kit bashing, which if you're not familiar with, it's taking 3D models, sometimes ones that are already constructed, and combining them digitally. So in a program like Blender. Which is a open. I don't know if it's open. I think it's still open source.
It is. Yeah, it's free.
It's at least free.
There's a pro version. Imagine so, but
I think so. But I think you can get all the features just for free. So you bring them in there, and then you can print them out, and that's sort of a digital way of doing what many of us do physically. So a couple different techniques here. Of course, all brought together with a really cohesive paint scheme. And just like, you have that grim darkness, the dark kind of muted color palettes, some purples, some blues, something like pallid flesh, but then they also have like these pops of, in this case, like this bright teal. Which is a nice addition.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Like I've been kind of playing around with test schemes for Knights of Avarice as well, which is again kind of greed, but it's actually a kind of a tricky color scheme to do for Trench Crusade. When you think of Trench Crusade, you think like really dark, muted, desaturated colors, and then you look at like some of the artwork for Knights of Avarice, and it's like purples and golds and like gemstones and things. But I think that Chaz here is just really like knocked out of the park. Like if you look at and I don't know what maybe that's a Praetor, but the weird spider thing with the nails.
It's got to be the Praetor, right?
Like the flesh tones there, it really ties into like those like pale blues and purples and like sickly cream colors. It works perfectly, man. I can't say enough good things about this.
Even the gold, it's a pretty bright gold, but it's also a cool gold, right?
Yeah.
It's not like very warm. We're talking like it's not Retributor armor with
I was gonna say
Agrax,
Retributor armor,
which I love, but that's a much warmer feel to
more like
it, right?
orange almost.
Exactly.
Yeah,
they've kind of kept everything cool.
Leaning more towards like a silver or like a platinum gold almost.
Yeah. And it's a great tool. Like honestly, you might feel like your models aren't the right aesthetic, or they might not be grimy and grimdark enough. But honestly, like if you even seen like Brian's projects, which look amazing before the paint on them, they look much more cheerful. There's a ton of work that can happen in that final process.
Yeah.
There's just a ton that you can do with the color scheme, right?
Yeah. It's especially with the weathering, that's things that you can add on after you've built your foundation. Like you can stop at any time you want, especially with like the enamel technique, where it's like kind of the reduction technique. But you can always just decide to add more, or just if you're happy with it, leave where it is.
Exactly. And we talked a little bit about those kind of oils last week. So a lot of good resources. You can check out Carlos Belis, you can check out Grimdark Compendium. Good places to just kind of get started with those.
And then Chaz was cool enough to send us, like narrative bits about his warband, because I always like to ask about that. I was like, I want to know about the painting, but tell me a story.
Yeah, tell me a story.
So his warband's called the Gilded Hand, and they're all about just like controlling kind of like the amassed wealth of Mammon and stuff, and just like taking it back whether you're living or dead, which is very cool. And it's a lot of these miniatures are from Goetia Miniatures, so really cool stuff. Yeah. If you remember Shivaska from season 1, that was from Goetia Miniatures as well, so really solid stuff. And then I also asked them their favorite moment in the Treasure Crusade game that they played. Of course. And theirs was that they had a Hell Knight with Body of Gold survive 2 back-to-back bloodbaths.
Oh my god.
Get up and then murder like the lieutenant and the yeoman that were trying to put him down, which is pretty metal.
That's so sick. Yeah. What does Body of Gold do?
That turns them into Golem, which you'll see in the recent episode with the Scripture Guardian, which means that they can only be taken out of action with a bloodbath. So that poor Antioch player walked him to the edge twice.
Yeah.
And couldn't seal the deal. And the guy just got back up and slapped him down. So
that's amazing. Yeah. They were like, finally, because that's really hard to do. Again, as we see in the episode, and that moment you get it, you're like, finally, it's going to happen.
And then it doesn't happen.
Twice. What a legend.
Epic. I love it. Thanks again for taking the time to respond. Appreciate it. Next up, we got Barb's 120. Now, they did an awesome Cult of the Black Grail.
Near and dear to your heart.
Yes, Cult of the Black Grail. That was my first one. I always get Court and Cult confused.
I know.
Every time. I've been playing Treasure Crusade for years. I can't figure it out still.
The Cult of the Seven.
Stop. But anyways, Barb's here had just a really cool color selection for these models that you don't often see. They did like these very like sickly yellows. Well, not sickly, like more like yellow, and then like teal cloth and like this like silvery bronze for armor. But it's just like something you don't really see on these models often, and it really like put them in a new light. And it's like, dude, that's like really good.
It's really good and really gross, which is of course the biggest compliment for Black Grail.
Yeah.
They've managed to do kind of the opposite of what we just looked at with Chaz. This one is actually very saturated, but they keep it in these sort of earthy tones. That's very gross. Like, to be a little bit visual about it, a little graphic. It reminds me of like you cook a chicken. And then you cook a chicken, you eat, you put away all the stuff, but like maybe there's some scraps on the cutting board left over, and the next morning you come out and it's all like, it's like kind of cooked sinew that's like dried up and it's like yellowy nastiness. It's like that.
It's a weird compliment to give to a model, but they captured what Adrian said just really well. But yeah, it reminded me almost of like the King in Yellow, like almost like Lovecraft stuff. Yeah. And it's just, the armor's really good, just color selection. It's so cool to see in a different light.
Yeah, exactly. So again, it's a kind of a case of like seeing that careful color palette selection, pretty limited color palette selection in all these cases really keeps it kind of cohesive and grounded. and saturated, but still earthy.
Yeah, the base is really good too. Like, he did a really good job, especially you can see on the Lord of Tumors, like the weathering of like the cloak into the base. Like, that's a good way to just kind of tie everything together, is use like, I think, weathering pigments. Correct me if I'm wrong in the Discord, but it looks like he used weathering pigments to just kind of like tie the base and the model together, which is always a very good last step.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Plus some awesome gore effects. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, it's all gooey. It's like cranberry sauce. Yeah. I hate it. Cranberry sauce on old chicken.
We just got food on the mind. We're filming this right around lunch, folks. I'm sorry.
I had half a sandwich in my car on the way here, and it was not enough food. No. It was not enough food.
So yeah, awesome work from Barbs120.
Heck yeah.
This next one's from Josie, who has this really cool Heretic Legion warband, and there's a few things I really like about it. One is there's a lot of physical kit bashing, so we're seeing lots of different pieces taken from different kits, things like that, to kind of bring it within the world. And every character has a really strong opinion to it, right?
Yes.
Down to like the artillery witch, which is like this like almost like mischievous kind of villain, you know?
This is a guy that has named every single model in this warband. Yes. I guarantee it. Like, exactly. Every single one of these guys has to have a backstory. And if not, like, the models just tell a story themselves. They're so good.
Like, down to the, like, the little, I love the little, like, witchy wizard's hat over the, like, danger irradiation sign, you know? There's like, some strong Fallout vibes in general from
my God,
set, you know?
That's a great comparison, because Fallout definitely is, like, kind of a dark setting, but there's some goofy elements in this, and I feel like they've kind of captured that for Trench Crusade. The wizard hat is just...
It's great.
It's so charming.
I also, I don't remember seeing like lore about it in particular, but they also have like the kind of Celtic symbol on the shield. So we had some really cool, and I think we'll have to actually have some later on in this episode, but like the Erie Rangers kind of side of things, but this is like the bad guys version, you know? It's like still from that region, clearly. And I love that. But also like in terms of environmental storytelling, they're all on... We've got a lot of duck boards, a lot of trenches in,
of course.
in Trench Crusade, of course. But these are like overgrown, like these are old trench kind of duck boards, and like they've been here for a while. So you can see actually we've got like flowers and like shrubbery and things that are starting to like overgrow them. Yeah. Which is funny because we're always like, we have a tendency to be like, all right, we're in the trenches, it's muddy, it's gross, and it's like, well, what about like the former trenches that have kind of overgrown?
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, that almost tells the story itself, right? This could be, like, some, like, trench network that just hasn't been contested for, like, many years because, like, the battle lines have shifted somewhere ago, and, like, without people just constantly, like, stepping on these or, like, tanks rolling over them, it's just, like, nature slowly started to, like, reclaim this area.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I love it when you look at a warband and your mind starts racing with, like, potential story ideas, like that dude stole that shield from someone in the Erie Rangers.
Yeah, it's so true.
I don't know what's going on with the Chorister there. They look like a ghost.
The Chorister's a ghost, which I love.
I need more answers. So Josiah, or if you could reach out on the Discord and let us know, please. I need to know more.
Give us the backstory on this whole warband.
We should maybe set up a channel also for like people to write backstories and stuff. I'd love to get in that.
We do need a backstory channel. Okay, let's add that.
Okay.
So. Very cool stuff. Thanks, Josie.
Next up, we have an awesome warband by Trench Tactics, actually, everybody. I didn't know it was them in the Discord until I reached out. I'm like, oh, it's you!
Everyone has like different usernames everywhere,
you
know. And I saw this one posted in a Facebook, I think it was maybe the Trench Crusade North America or something. So this is a cool one.
Yes. So these are the Angelic Mockeries, and this is a warband, Court of the Seven.
Yep.
Did it? Okay, I did that right. Court of the Seven, dedicated to the theme of envy, which is really cool. It's like, and then their backstory is that like they're not like quite fully demons, but like they're trying to like mimic like the looks of like angelic and like mortal creatures.
Yep.
But like coming up like short, because there's that like uncanny valley where like these guys are just like not quite right. They got some like weird veiny things going on. And that's kind of cool because it's like that's like envy is like, right? It's like always like desiring for something, but you know, maybe they're just like coming up short. So like the demons themselves are like in this perpetual state of like torture because like they're in these bodies and like they'll never be the things that they aspire to.
Anyways, that's such a fun, strong theme in like even just like a lot of like Christianity is, the wanting, the desire, but the not having, and the way that it twists even for these like demonic beings.
Yeah, and you can definitely see it in the model selection and the way that they painted. So these models come from both Bestiarum, which again is very common for Trench Crusade, but also Comet Lord Miniatures, which has some really good like Eldritch horror stuff. If you've seen like the Faceless Hydra, I think that's one of their more famous models.
I love that one.
It's such a good model.
I started printing. They have one that's the same series.
It's huge, by the way.
It's massive.
Yeah.
So I did just the head because I was going to do for like Empress Children, Mother
Oh,
Fiend.
that'd be perfect.
Yes.
That'd be perfect.
Exactly. Yeah. But they have so I'm a member of their tribe.
Of course.
Because they just do really cool stuff. And they all have this like, from one angle looks fine, and then from the other angle you're like, oh no! Or even from some like looks disturbing gets worse from another angle. And yeah, a lot of these like angelic sort of like pristine characters that when you look closer, they're like, oh, there's something wrong. That angel is like crying, has an extra arm, has like a mouth underneath the mask.
Which is like perfect, again, for the model selection for Trench Tactics Warband here. And again, you see the painting, and I like it too because it's like this like pale like alabaster skin almost. And it reminds me of like ancient marble statues where like picturesque almost, but again, they're just like, they're not quite right. You have like the little workings ends of like gore effects, like I don't know if that's the sorcerer or the praetor, but they have just like this hollow heart essentially. Like there's the literal void that they're trying to fill. But yeah, no, it's just a very like awesome, like cohesive looking warband, which is rad.
So cool and so funny that it kind of just came across by happenstance.
I know, right? We're not. I promise we're not picking favorites. I know that they got a YouTube channel.
Legitimately, completely blind.
I just don't know what I'm doing. So but yeah, again, I asked them kind of the theme and the warband, and we went over that. Totally. But also their favorite moment, and theirs was they got into a gunfight with an enemy praetor. They won, and then they celebrated by torturing some wretches with some gas grenades. But they rolled too high and just killed the wretch.
No, they played a little too hard.
They played a little too hard. They flew a little too close to the sun.
They just don't know any better.
It is actually really effective gassing your own wretches. I don't know why you would take torture instruments anymore. But, sometimes you just get a little too high on your own supply or something.
Look, what can I say? So awesome work. Thanks, Trench Tactics.
Love it.
Now we've talked a lot about the bad guys today. Let's talk about some good guys.
Do we have to?
Well, yeah, I know. Hey,
I like the bad guys.
You should like this. This is New Antioch, which you're now very familiar with.
I have been enjoying Antioch.
So this is the Lost Duke, who has a warband I really like. It has this really, again, cool kind of color palette to it. Very clean, very like, we are going to go purge the heretics kind of vibe to it, So we've got this awesome, cool gray scheme, primarily highlighted by this like blood red. And again, we notice here there's sort of a theme to these warbands that work really well. They're cohesive, they're limited color palette, and by and large, they kind of watch the saturation. They pick those moments to pop, whether it be gore effects or whether it be a bit of red, but not too bright of a red.
They did a great job. This looks like a very cohesive warband. Like all your colors and elements are represented, but you still have plenty of room to let your character shine. So for example, it looks like their cleric there has a little bit more red perhaps than some of the other models. Maybe a little bit more. It's just really, really cohesive. And it looks like looks like the right hands are red, so I'm wondering if there's some kind of narrative reason behind that. If we can find this Lost Duke.
The Lost Duke, let us know.
Discord, let us know.
Inquiring minds want to know. And like Antioch in particular is a great opportunity to do these more kind of cohesive schemes, more like military style color schemes. I do this unconsciously. Well, we all do it when we come up with a color scheme, but it's like doubly so true here where you're like, okay, well, what do they do? Do they have red helmets? Do they do right arm always red? Do they have the stripe or whatever? And it's always kind of fun to like take a scheme and then see how do you kind of apply that out across the whole line of models, which you really get to see here.
I think it's particularly exciting in Trench Crusade because there isn't a lot of like official, like we're seeing with Prussia, for example, some color schemes come out, but right now it's like just the Wild West, man. So you could really come up with your own. There's a lot of room. So like you look at 40K, like White Scars or like Night Lords, like they have a reason why they paint their gauntlets red. The center is red, but you can kind of create these own elements yourself while you're painting them to create up with narrative reasons for your warband, which is which is dope. Yeah. And I want to know why.
Tell us why.
I have more questions than answers after this one.
I know, true. Yeah, I just thought it was really cool. So we'd love more context, but Lost Duke, shout out to you.
The gray and the red also just vibes very well with just the brown mud, honestly. Like, these are colors that go well with mud.
Yeah, they go well with mud, and they also pop a little bit off of mud. Like, I've had a few times where I like paint a model. I'm like, yeah, this is great, and I put it on.
And then you do the mud.
And it's just so like everything's brown. I'm like, dang it.
Yeah, it works.
It's good camouflage.
Yeah. It photographs really well. I have noticed the grimdark style like photographs very well, but sometimes when you're at the table, the 3-foot rule, things can kind of blend in. But this warband will have no trouble with that at all.
Love it. So Lost Duke, really cool warband. Also, kind of separate project, Lost Duke is a person also doing some cool digital kit bashing, which we referenced earlier. They have this really cool Airy Rangers kit bash warband. So right now we have just actually the digital renders, which is kind of fun. You can kind of see potentially where the model comes together before they're printed, and it looks awesome. Yeah. So again, this is just taking different models and you're combining them digitally, and then there's a few ways to kind of like finalize that process, and then you print them out afterwards, and it makes for really strong connections, and it makes for, so like if you're holding a spear, it's gonna make for a really strong connection there, but it also means it's easier to like have things on backpacks and shoulders and things like that. So there's a lot of things that are, it's a powerful tool that it would be very, very difficult to do physically. And honestly, it was really cool because they also said they were kind of inspired by what we did. So
cool.
That's not why we picked them, I promise. But it's kind of a happy accident. Frankly, we like separately were like, want to show this and this, and we're like, oh, perfect.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate that we were able to kind of inspire you to not only do this, but also to just share your work. Yeah. And hopefully this will inspire someone else to try the same process.
Kudos for you for tackling Blender also, because I don't know if anyone has never had any experience, just getting the camera to move sometimes in Blender, it's not intuitive at all. It's a little rough. Like, I started on Microsoft 3D Builder.
Classic.
And I still use it because I know how to move the camera and that.
But that's the thing. So Lost Duke, even the Discord was like, hey, this is my first attempt at Blender.
Yeah.
And we're like, what? This is your first try?
Dude.
Amazing.
Dude, yeah. So, mad props for just jumping head on in. Like, that's awesome. Great work, dude.
Yeah. And to those of you getting started in Blender, don't be overwhelmed. You're not dumb. It's actually kind of unintuitive.
Everyone feels the same way.
It is.
Yeah.
I have been, frankly, out of it. I used to work in Blender a lot more when I used to do a lot of like animation and other kind of video stuff and game stuff. But frankly, I haven't been using it for a few years.
And it's just gone, right? Because it's not intuitive.
What do you do?
None of it is intuitive. So
man. So shout out to all the brave soldiers.
This is just a rant against Blender now.
Yeah. Maybe we need a Blender section we can help each other in Blender. That might also be good.
Not a terrible idea.
Yeah. So anyways, thanks, Lost Duke.
Thanks. Well, I guess we're just talking about Antioch now.
Really.
So I have another Antioch one. This is by Stranger Come Knockin', which is a cool name. But they did some really rad looking just Antioch, like very like dark iron metal. So like if you're familiar with like the Iron Hands Legion, like a lot of their armor is like that very like dark, but still not just black. Like you can definitely tell this is metallic, or like if you're like Dark Souls fan, like reminds me of like Black Iron Tarkus almost.
Yes.
And they do have just like that, those like almost like knight helms like built in their stuff as well. You can see like they took time to like build cloaks into their machine heavy infantry as well. So maybe this is kind of like more of like a northern warband where like things are kind of colder.
That's the impression I get.
Yeah, and you can see like in the robes too, and I'm not super, correct me if I'm wrong, but it almost looks like a like Russian Orthodoxy, like priestly robes, like and then armor's like built on top of it.
Sick.
So this looks like maybe it could be, I don't know, maybe Papal States, although they have kind of more machine heavy infantry than, I know, right?
It could be. It could be.
I don't know, but it's...
The leathers and the straps and stuff do a good job of breaking up what is a very metal model. Yeah. So that's really nice, and of course lets them do a lot of work with the paint job. But yeah, I don't know, there's something about the metal. Like I would love to hear your paint recipe because
I would too.
It looks great, and it's a really great like true metallic metal treatment. Which I don't know. There's something hard to do about that.
It is, and you touched on it too also, but it's just like when you have a color scheme that's like mostly black, and this is that, like it's black armor with like black robes, but it just works, man. Like he's got enough highlights going on that are not like obnoxiously like setting the tone off, like nothing like too bright or anything. Like it all just like ties in, I think, perfectly. Like,
it can be hard to get it to look nice and grim dark and not just feel cartoony.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, oh, you just put metal paint, and you're like, no. If you do that, it it's really hard to make work. Even with the magic of like null or whatever, it's still like needs a little something often. So
yeah, that's always the tricky thing with black too. It's like people are like, oh, I'll just paint it black, and black is black. It's like, well, no, you will not see like pure black in very few situations in life. Like if you look, because there's always like light playing off something, so there's always going to be a little bit gray, or maybe there's a little bit of blue or green.
Yeah. The secret to black is not black.
It's not actually black, yeah. Same thing with white. Like, don't start with white. Start with an off-white and build your way up. But anyways, yeah, really great work. I'd love to hear how you did the black, especially because I am kind of working on iron hands in my off time. So I love it.
Yeah.
I will steal your technique shamelessly.
So we've been focusing mostly on warbands, but also in our Discord, you can post up work on your trenches, your kind of boards and builds and things like that. So we have a couple folks that have kind of duels of both, and we'll swap over to fully board features from there. So the first one we'll talk about is, this is from TH Eddie, or Tryhard Eddie, who's in the Discord and posted up, first of all, a cool warband. This is a Trench Pilgrims warband with, again, very cool color palette. Well, it's like a cool yellow almost. Yeah. It's got a really, another different take on things.
Sickly yellow, a little bit of green in there. Yep. Like these are all colors like bronze. Gives me like Death Guard vibes. Like these are colors that just work really well together.
Guard-y. Yeah. You're so right. Yeah. And again, just a nice limited color palette, very, very pastel-y. And so we got the whole warband in there, which is looking really cool. But then they also posted up a battlefield. And what I want to show about these trenches is the attention to detail on things like scatter. We've talked about scatter before and how important it is to building a cohesive board and kind of telling that story. And there's just a lot of great little bits in here from, I think, like a number of different sets. So we've got some images up on the board and up on the screen. Yeah. At one point, there's like an empty Catherine wheel, just kind of like propped up against, like they have like an extra one ready for. We got in case we get a flat. Roadside service comes by and replaces the Catherine. And it's just like, oh, it's so good. And that's just like extra bits, you know. He's like, oh yeah, I had an extra one, so we like painted it up, put him in the board.
The little scatter terrain really can make a table, and that's awesome.
It really can, and obviously, you know, you can get a lot of those great things straight from Factory Fortress with all the sprues and extra things like that. But it's also really easy to make just your own scatter terrain and extra pieces just from junk at home, whether it be like little balsa wood or wire or little mini boxes and packaging. You know, and that just really brings the battlefield to life. So something I really wanted to highlight about Eddie's board is that they do that. It's not just about the big trenches, which is always the big concern. Yeah. But it's like the details after that.
Because I mean, the big trenches are a lot to do that often when you get the end of it, you're like, okay, I'm done. But if you really take the time to put in that extra level, like it just so much better. Yeah. So I love it.
Cool stuff. And I believe, I don't know if they haven't done it officially yet, but they are starting to work on some battle reports over on their channel. This is Battle Barn, doing mostly 40K, but as many of us, very trench curious and playing some games. So I don't know. We'll keep our eyes out there in the near future.
I like the name, Battle Barn. That's
Battle Barn's great, right? Good, It's a barn burner. Yeah. That one's for free, Eddie. This next one, again, it's a coincidence. I wanted to highlight them because of some cool products that they make, but they also just posted some really cool images. So I was like, well, here we are. Here we are.
We're not going to beat the charges. We're not. Look at these guys, these like scumbags.
It's almost like there's just people doing cool things in the community in general. And once they do one cool thing, there's more to come.
I know.
So here it is. Here's Carrion Throne, who, first of all, has these really cool images. Particularly this one was very striking to me. They have their warband posted up. But I also just really like this image of this like Jesus like statue with the nose broken, so it's almost like undead Jesus in the trenches with the observer, and just some really nice photography, honestly.
That is like trenchcrusade.jpg. Like if someone asked me what Trench Crusade was, I would probably show them this picture. It's just like the world's on fire, like Jesus not doing so good there, and some weird like sci-fi thing with like holy relics and a spear and an antenna. It's just that is Trench Crusade right there.
That's it. We solved it.
We did
honestly.
it. We speed ran Trench Crusade.
Congrats.
It's over.
You are the Trench Crusade. And then again, just another nice treatment. Here we have the Crown of Thorns is clearly made of like this rusting metal material, and it's kind of rusting down Jesus's face.
It looks like blood, but it's like rust.
Yeah, it's just next level. It's so evocative.
Yeah.
So this image is just amazing. Again, they also have their warband posted. So very kind of prolific in the Trench Crusade Discord and space. And then additionally, again, I was going to say this, but here we are. It feels not wrong to not mention. They also do cool Trench Crusade products. They actually have cool kind of tattoo designs, basically comes from that school of tattoo, that are on these like blast markers / objective markers and cool templates for different factions.
I can see it. Yeah, it looks like tattoo designer, like almost like a metal album cover, like that very like that type of artwork. But yeah.
So incidentally, cool stuff we can also buy. So I'm going to be definitely checking out some of my own.
Heck yeah.
So awesome stuff. Like, I can't help it, guys.
It's all right. We're not trying to just sell you things, I promise.
We aren't.
These are things we actually like.
Right. So now let's go fully over to board. We're talking about show us your trenches. We want to see them. And if you haven't, post them up in the Discord.
Show us your trenches.
This is from General Crap. I did confirm with Brian. We can say crap here.
I wasn't sure. I was like, can we say this?
Can we say it? Yeah.
I don't know where the line is. I'm still figuring it out, but we can say crap.
It's more blurred since we moved off of Tabletop Titans, of course, and we're in trench. We're still figuring it out. We're gonna say crap.
We can say crap.
That's fine. So General Crap has these really cinematic shots, which I really appreciate. It's a nice board, but it's also just nice photography.
He did a really good job with photography here. Just the backdrop as well. I did reach out. I didn't hear back from time, and that's probably on our part. It was kind of short
we
notice.
were very like last minute with all this.
We're always very working on something. But I would still love to hear just kind of like your process for photography. If you have a background in photography also. Because if you just like picked up a camera and did this, like,
they're amazing.
That's super impressive.
It's like one of them, I'm like, oh, okay, there could be like a lens flare that they've like dropped on digitally, but then another one, it just lines up so well with like the golden light in the back of the Sultanate.
Like, that has to be like a light source, right?
I think so. Yeah. The fact that I'm not sure is just a great sign.
Yeah.
And this is actually what tells me that they actually know what they're doing in this shot is you see that you have the light source behind them with the casting the long shadows. But if you've ever tried to take a selfie in front of a window, you know that this would actually kind of blow out the character themselves. Oh, okay. But they haven't done that. So they either have like a front light source or they've digitally lightened it to make it legible from the front as well as having the kind of epic lighting from the back.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of cool storytelling in here about the board, the characters, and just the photography in it.
Yeah, even the composition and everything. Like you can see like the Sultanate coming down the trenches and the guys out of focus, I imagine, are people that they're fighting and stuff.
I'm a total nerd, and I recognize the models in the front, even though they're completely blurry.
Yeah.
These are traitor guardsmen, heretic guardsmen. So I imagine there's some sort of evil heretic guys that they're about to fight.
Yeah.
So just really fun. We've got the moon in front of the classic cross, which maybe the official one?
I think that's a print, yeah. That looks like an FDM print. Hey, you got a guy. I didn't even see the guy up there at the top.
Yeah, I'm super jealous. We made our like boat version, but this is like the iconic one. Super sick.
God, we gotta get an FDM printer going, man.
We have it. We just gotta unpack it.
Yeah, we're still in the foam age, making everything. It's. Ooh.
I know. We're gonna unlock. We're gonna be next level with it. So again, just really nice. Not only battlefield, but also just like composition and kind of storytelling, which is
really cool detail. Also, I just want to highlight on the trench walls, they print out little posters and stuff that you can like. It just adds a little bit more character too, and like that's a really simple and creative way to just add more like storytelling because you can like literally like make little posters and then
and that's easy. You can do that with your printer at home. And it comes back to that idea of like scatter and storytelling and all that mattering. Even if you're not filming your battle reports or taking like photos. Like beautiful photos, it still helps you tell the story with your players as you're kind of going through it. You can make little wanted posters of like each other's characters.
Yeah,
like how sick would that be?
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
So very
cool. Just get little posters of Shane on the next one. Just Shane's
Not
head.
tell him. Don't tell him.
Don't tell him either. Yes, we'll never acknowledge it.
Oh my God, that'd be so good. Yes. So shout out to General Crap. You do good stuff. It's not crap.
Crap. I said it.
You enjoy
Censor me. Do it.
I'm going to censor it whenever you say it. It's going to make it sound like you're saying something even worse.
I'm just saying.
So, yeah. Let's take a look at another cool kind of photography board project. This is Adam Zombie SPDS. And it's another case of like, I mean, even the warband's cool to be honest. But we're focusing on the board here.
Yeah.
And just what you can do with an at-home setup and just great lighting. And I can tell they're doing all these things because there's different like colors in each of the scenes.
Yeah.
We have some blue shots, we have some sort of purpley shots, and then we have some more zoomed out shots where you're seeing kind of the board and the room. Because I think like when people start in Trench Crusade, there's a lot of like, okay, how do I get started? What do I need? What can I use that I already have? And I think for me, this answers a lot of questions. Particularly this photo where you see like the mat draping off. I love this mat. We have this mat, but it like sucks as it's like too large, right?
This is a challenge we do every time we start to film Battle Report, especially when they introduce 3x3, and it's like now everything is upside down. I mean, I love 3x3. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a great change, but it's just like now. The droopiness.
Yeah, it's like, okay, how do we hide them or tuck them over, you know, but you can make it work at home, just, you know, droop them, tuck them. If you have mat runners are also super helpful to like cover those larger ones.
Like frame it out?
Yeah. Frankly, what we've done is we've cut some of our old mats and then we use the upside down part of it, the black. So our runners on the main table is just that. So that's a really helpful tool. And so it's just kind of, you see how cool and cinematic these boards are, and then you kind of get the zoom out and you get a bit of context for like how they set it up, how they lay it out, and how do they use those resources.
Yeah, just the change of lighting, it does so much to, like I would love like a before and after of just like a regular, just kind of like daylight bulb versus like what they got going on here. And it just completely changes the mood of the board. I wonder how easy something like this would be to set up just even at the game store, you know, for casual pickup games.
It's transformative.
Yeah.
It really is. And because they post so many pictures, you can also see how they kind of use and reuse terrain for different layouts, different configurations to keep it fresh and interesting, which is important because, look, does terrain take a lot of time to make?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Is storage a problem?
Yes.
Yes.
Is this a trick question?
This is not a trick question. Okay. That is to say, a lot of time you want to be able to reuse your stuff. So like you make a cool building for like the epic church battle in the campaign, but like how do we reuse it in later things? You know?
It's a problem.
It is a problem, honestly.
I like the big set pieces so much, but yeah, it's you only have so many boat adventures before.
Exactly. How do you get creative with it? And this is kind of a good like project in practice of how you implement that.
Yeah.
So just, you know, cool stuff. And again, all these pictures that we see here are in the Discord, so you can grab them. So Adam Zombie, SPDS, cool stuff. Keep doing what you're doing.
Keep on keeping on.
Right. So, I mean, honestly, there's even more that we could have done, but that's where we're at today.
I hope no one is offended that we didn't get to you. Trust me, like
it was not for lack of good things.
If I didn't have to go back to work in like 15 minutes, I would stay here all day with Adrian, just gushing about your guys' models that you've been posting because they have been amazing.
Yeah, 100%. So again, folks, check out the Discord, link in the description down below. We'd love to have you there. We are going to have some cool events / maybe competitions in there in the near future for everything related to Trench Crusade. And we're definitely looking to kind of grow that and make it a space that people can share resources and hang out and chat.
For sure. Yeah, it's just awesome, man. Just really inspiring seeing everything you guys do.
It's such a cycle because people are like, oh, you inspired me to do this. I'm like, you inspired me to do this.
Yeah. I mean, the first guy we talked about, Chaz, I think?
Chaz,
I'm sorry, I already forgot the name. But it's just, because I was looking at, you know, kind of similar vein of stuff, because I'm looking at, you know, Knights of Avarice again. But it's just seeing other people's takes on the different war bands, seeing the colors they come up with, seeing like the lore that the guys shared with, just everything is awesome. Really great community.
Incredible work, everyone. So let's just keep it going, keep inspiring each other, sharing ideas, demystifying some of these processes so you feel more comfortable just jumping in the trenches, and it's gonna be a great time.
Heck yeah.
So as always, folks, thank you so much for watching. Of course, leave us a comment down below if you enjoyed the episode, and we'll catch y'all next time in the trenches. Bye. Bye.